What's going on, guys? This is going to be kind of a quick video, just going over the difference between a Caldwell Bipod and a Harris Bipod. This is a $50 Caldwell. It's swivel, it's sling stud attachable. It does have the spring-loaded legs. If you lock them down, open that, spring loads, all that cool stuff. It's got the lever down here to lock the swivel, which you have to buy that extra. But anyway, it's got all those features on it, and it's right about $50. And then there's this. This is the Harris Bipod, the same pretty much bipod. This is 2 to 3 times more expensive. So I'm going to kind of go over why, this is more expensive. So everybody always hears the phrase, you get what you pay for. And, it's usually kind of cliched, but there's also times where it's kind of accurate, it's kind of true. I believe this is one of those times. This Harris Bipod is 2 to 3 times more expensive than the Caldwell, depending on where you find it and if it's on sale. But anyway, 100 to 150 bucks. Is it worth 2 times more than this? And I believe it is. I was kind of skeptical at first because I had this Caldwell for a while and it had been doing pretty good for 50 bucks. And I was kind of hesitant to spend, a lot more money on a Harris, but I needed a bipod for this rifle and I hated having to take them on and off, because when you mount them on a sling stud, it's not the easiest thing or the quickest thing to undo. So anyway, I needed a bipod for this gun, and I decided to just go ahead and bite the bullet and get a Harris, and there's a big difference. First off, here, let's put this down so we can get a better look at all of them, a little bit more close up, if you will. So getting up a little closer to these bipods, you can notice on the Harris, this coil right here on the spring goes from length to length, full coil. And you notice it when you pull that leg down. It is a solid, forceful snap into position, and it holds very well. So like under recoil, these feet are not going to want to move at all under recoil. The Caldwell, you can see, has springs only about 1/3 of the way down this attachment here, which makes it really easy to deploy. You can just pull it and it pops down really easily without a lot of force. That one back there takes a lot of force. But it's also not good on recoil, because you can see I can just move this with my hand right here. You can imagine under recoil how much that's going to move. This one right here is not, I have to really like bend it and crank on it to get it to move. So under recoil, that's going to help you, keep the gun stable and keep it in position. Another thing, I don't know if you can see, but just look at the size of the legs, like the diameter. This right here looks to be, a pretty good bit. Shoot that out. This just looks a slightly bit bigger than this. The feet are a lot softer on the Harris, and I have noticed on this one it wants to slide a lot. This one is a little bit softer. Everything up here seems to be a little thicker. Comes with the knob. This one, I can't remember what it came with, but I had to add this lever. The knob is not as good as the lever, but it works for now. But you can just see all these pieces like under here are a lot beefier and a lot higher quality on the Harris compared to the Caldwell. So all that being said, the Caldwell is not a bad bipod. You can see I've got it on this my SPR 18-inch AR right here. This gun doesn't recoil that much at all, especially with the rifle length gas and the rifle length buffer, and whether I've got the muzzle brake or the suppressor on here, the silencer, it's just not a lot of recoil. So that little bit of wiggle in this right here, the legs, it's not that big a deal when you're not dealing with a lot of kick, a lot of recoil on the rifle. The bolt gun, on the other hand, this 308, especially the way it is now, is not that heavy right now. I do plan on getting a better, heavier stock on it, but for now, either way, it's got a lot more recoil than that 5.56. Whether it's with the brake or the silencer on the end, you really need that rigidity and that stiffness in the bipod to help with the recoil. and it feels like it's sturdier when you're like leaning into it, kind of loading it, whether you're on the bench or, you know, on a barricade or something like that. It just feels better when you load into it. So if you've just got, you know, a rifle that you just need to have a bipod or want to have a bipod on, I know the Magpuls are pretty good. I don't have one, but if you like that style of the Harris, the Caldwell's not going to do you that bad. I mean, it's a decent bipod for the money and for, you know, what you're paying and what you get. Like I said, for a heavier gun, like a 308 bolt gun or an AR-10, something like that, that you're really going to be getting behind more than you're going to be holding or putting on a barricade, go for the better bipod. Something a little bit lighter weight, something that doesn't recoil as hard, you know, something you're going to be propping or holding. You're not going to be relying on the bipod as frequently. The Caldwell will be just fine. All right, so I don't know how quick that video was, but it was just a simple, easy video on the difference between a Caldwell and a Harris bipod. They're the same model, they do the same thing. There's just some subtle differences that kind of make a big difference. But I really just wanted to kind of show what to expect with a $50 Caldwell versus a $100 to $150 Harris. So I hope that helps kind of give you an idea of what to expect, and, you know, maybe it'll help you pick out which bipod to put on, you know, your next rifle.